Before you scroll, ask yourself this: what if everything you believe about control, success, or even who you are is wrong? What if every morning you wake up inside a story you didn't write, and today is the only chance to reclaim the pen? Every morning begins the same way. A faint light spills across the horizon, quiet and indifferent. The world turns once more. Yet most of us rise already trapped, haunted by the ghosts of yesterday, pulled by the anxieties of tomorrow. We reach for our phones before our thoughts, for the noise before the silence. And so, another day begins without us truly waking up. But what if the morning isn't just another repetition? What if it's a doorway? A moment that decides everything that follows. The Stoics believed that each sunrise is not a continuation of life, but a rebirth. You wake not merely to exist, but to begin again, to rebuild your mind, to reclaim your direction, to remember who you are before the world tells you who to be. I remember the first time this idea hit me like a wave. I had spent years chasing control of people, of outcomes, of every unpredictable twist of life. But control was an illusion, and I was its prisoner. Then I came across a single line from Marcus Aurelius: "You cannot command the wind, but you can set your sail." I read it again and again until I finally understood. The power was never in controlling the storm. It was in choosing how to face it. That morning, I began differently. No phone, no noise, just breath. Just thought. I asked myself, what story will I write today? The answer didn't come immediately, it never does, but something changed. For the first time, I felt the space between reaction and intention. The quiet moment where life waits for your decision. That's where freedom lives. That's where a new day truly begins. Every dawn is mercy disguised as routine. The light that slips through your window isn't reminding you of time passing, it's offering you another chance to live on purpose. To start again with clarity instead of confusion, with direction instead of drift. The question is whether you will take it. So tomorrow morning, when you wake, don't rush to fill the silence. Sit in it. Let the stillness speak. Ask yourself not what you have to do, but who you want to be while doing it. Because life isn't waiting to be controlled. It's waiting to be lived, deliberately, courageously, wisely. If you find meaning in this message, if it reminds you that every day is an invitation to begin again, then subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating stories that awaken thought, challenge perception, and bring Stoic wisdom to life. When I first began studying the Stoics, I thought philosophy was something to read, not something to live. I was wrong. Marcus Aurelius taught me that philosophy isn't about words, it's about action. He began each morning reminding himself that the world would test him, that he would meet selfish people, impatient people, careless people. Yet his focus was never on changing them. It was on mastering himself. He wrote that the obstacle to action becomes the action itself. At first, I didn't understand what that meant. But over time, I realized it was a reminder to stop fighting against the world and start aligning with it, to turn resistance into growth. Every morning now, before the day begins, I ask myself the same question Marcus once did. What is within my control today? And then quietly I decide. Not what I want to achieve, but who I want to be while achieving it. In that simple act, something shifts. The day stops being a burden I carry and becomes a mirror reflecting my character. The wind still blows, the storms still come, but I steer my own ship. Seneca once wrote that no wind is favorable to the man who does not know where he is sailing. I used to drift through my days without a destination, reacting, rushing, surviving. But direction gives meaning to movement. Seneca understood that most people live like leaves in the wind, tossed by emotion, unaware of where they are going. The wise, he said, live like sailors with intention, awareness, and discipline. That image stayed with me. I began to see my mind as the vessel, my principles as the compass. When the world pulls me toward distraction, I remind myself to steer back toward purpose. It's not about speed, it's about direction. And direction begins with clarity. Before every sunrise, I pause and ask, what is my port today? Where should I focus my mind? Because once you know your port, every wind, even the storm, becomes useful. Epictetus took the lesson even deeper. He said, first learn who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. His words struck me because I had spent years decorating a self I didn't even understand. He believed that life constantly tests our inner strength, not to break us, but to reveal us. Every morning, he taught, we face a simple duty, to act well. I used to think acting well meant pleasing others. Now I know it means staying true to reason, no matter how unreasonable the world becomes. Epictetus reminded me that every action is the echo of an intention. When I react in anger, it's because my intention is lost. When I respond with calm, it's because I remembered who I am. So each dawn I ask myself quietly, what will I echo today? That question has changed my life more than any achievement ever did. The Stoics didn't just talk about intention, they practiced it. I built my own ritual from their wisdom. Each morning begins with silence. I sit and breathe, letting the world fade for a moment until it becomes distant and still. Then I ask myself, what matters most today? I choose one virtue: patience, discipline, compassion, and let it be the thread that ties my actions together. I visualize the coming hours, the people I will meet, the tests I will face, and I imagine myself responding with steadiness. Finally, I write one clear sentence in my journal. Today, I will act with clarity, or today, I will not let anger choose my words. This isn't perfection, it's direction. Some days I fail. But each time I return to this practice, I remember, the world will always test me, but my intention will guide me home. And as the sun rises, I whisper to myself the same truth that has guided every Stoic before me: begin again with meaning.